you're listening to LYNC Radio, a Love Your Neighbor community program. I'm Jessica Eturralde. Coming up, Wade embarks on a journey to Tashkent, Uzbekistan, followed by a visit to Kazakhstan, where local multi-faith clubs are in the process of establishing themselves. Also, Love Your Neighbor community ventures into American streets to hear what people say was the last time they spoke to someone with different religious beliefs. But first, Love Your Neighbor community is launching a new media initiative to broaden conversations between those that believe differently. We know that as a society, we need to work together. And how can we do that if we don't take the time to share and listen to one another? Therefore, we're asking our listeners to like and subscribe to our programs and share it with someone you know who also wants to expand the conversation. You may view more at lyncommunity.org. That's lyncommunity.org. Last month, Love Your Neighbor community founder and president Wade Kusack traveled to Tashkent, Uzbekistan, for Dialogue of Declarations 2.
The Dialogue of Declaration is a unique program which brings the authors of the previous declarations to discuss the important human rights provisions embedded into previous declarations. For example, Marrakesh Declaration, Mecca Declaration based on Medina Charter, and so on and so forth.
Kusack says that in 2022, LYNC held its first Dialogue of Declarations in Bukhara, Uzbekistan. The final document is actually titled the Bukhara Declaration, named after this ancient city, which is believed to be about 2,500 years old. The participants plan to implement each of the provisions embedded into the human rights declarations. Following his visit to Tashkent, Kusack traveled north to Kazakhstan, where he connected with IRF Secretariat CEO Greg Mitchell. The two co-hosted religious freedom roundtables in Almaty, Shu, and Shymkent. These Kazakh cities are building their own version of religious freedom roundtables called multi-faith clubs, based on their local context. LYNC's representative to Kazakhstan, Arman Arimbayev, also participated. During their visit, the Nazarbayev Center hosted a meeting with Kusack, Mitchell, and Arimbayev, reinforcing Kazakhstan's commitment to collaborate with the United States non-governmental organizations for religious freedom. Both parties agreed on joint events to foster peaceful dialogue. For July, as part of LYNC Square, a new radio show that asks people in the public square their thoughts on topics associated with religious dialogue and social cohesion, Love Your Neighbor community correspondents hit the streets across the United States to ask, when was the last time you talked to someone who held different religious beliefs than you?
I don't know. I got some friends believe in God, and I got some people who don't. So I'm going to say half and half. Well, I guess the difference in the religions is, I guess they Muslims, and I'm Baptist, so that's the difference.
On Friday, in the airport, I had a conversation with two Messianic Jews, a Catholic, and me. It was very interesting.
Would you tell me a little more about those conversations?
So they were talking originally, and I was hearing him talk about priesthood, and so I asked him, are you Mormon? And he said, no, I'm Catholic. And then I said, can I join your conversation? Because they didn't seem like they would mind.
To hear the full story and more details about the events mentioned in today's program, visit lyncommunity.org and click on the Media tab. There, we are building a series of new programs, updates, and highlights to expand the conversation on how we can work together, even if we are different. If you enjoyed this broadcast, don't forget to like and subscribe for updates. I'm Jessica Eturralde for LYNC Radio.